Okay, enough of that. Abductions may occur. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Super Soldier Talk. My name is James Rink. In case you didn't know, I'm the host of the show, and I have Tamara Richardson with us today. Tamara, why don't you unmute yourself and let everyone know how you're doing today? Can you unmute yourself? And audience members, thank you for joining us on such short notice. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, it's Tamara, but great to be here, James. That's all right.
Sorry,
Tomato,
I like to call
tomato.
you Tamara. Okay,
Yeah, tomato,
Tamara, whatever.
tomato.
I'm from the
Yeah,
South, whatever.
yeah, yeah. You speak Southern, and it'll come out like a long version of Tammy. So, oh gosh, so it's great. We're finally doing something, and you're also going to be on my channel too, so we get to discuss your channel and your conference and all the other things you're doing. So, thanks
Very
for
good.
having me.
So just letting people know, I got about 20 minutes and I have to go. So I'm going. Today was the day that my mom died back in 2016. So I'm going to go to the cemetery and say my condolences or whatever I'm supposed to say. It's always awkward, doing death thing, but it is part of the process of life, the death side too. But okay, so I'm going to be at the Spruce Pine Alien Festival, June 14th, 2025, in Spruce Pine, North Carolina.
Mhm.
So for those of you who don't know, that's in Western North Carolina, and it's a small little town there, right? And they have all these vendor booths along the street. You can dress up, do your cosplay. You can meet the vendors. We're both going to have our own vending tent right next to each other. So come on out. Um, uh, oh my gosh, Tamara.
Yes.
All right, okay, Tamara. Okay,
It's Tamara. Just call me
Tamara.
Tammy, and then
Tamara.
we'll
Tammy,
migrate
I got
into
you, Tammy. So
Tamara.
Tammy. What are you going to be selling at your booth?
I'm going to be selling galactic origin readings, and now that would include people that want to know what was their last star planet, maybe what was their whole track Akashic on a planetary system, and what is their mission here on Earth. And so, because I've had like 400 hours of past life regression, as well as an activation by a palladium from South Africa, and multiple times, and then now, and after that, the Syrians showed up in that session. I'm like, whoa! And now I see Syrian and Arcturian UFO ships all the time, and I can speak multiple light languages. So I will be doing that. I've spoken multiple times in Portal to Ascension and on the Galactic Origins cruise about this same thing about people's origin. And that if someone wants an evidential psychic medium, I'm highly trained in that. And I've been seeing spirits since 3 years old because I've had so many near death experiences. That'll do that to you.
Thank you. Okay, so Tamara Calder Richardson is a six-time near-death experiencer, evidential psychic medium known as the Southern Belle medium, and she is a Christ and ultra-dimensional channeler. She's a UFO experiencer, contactee. She served in the secret space program under Project Acorn, right? And a psyops intuitive. So,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the first time really coming out with that. And so, I went from, I don't know, should I come out with this to like actually being really excited. Um, I can't speak for other people, and I'm so, so sorry if people have had a bad experience with the whole abduction, SSP thing, but mine was actually very positive. And, it's kind of maybe who I am today. And it is a bit confusing seeing two different timelines, though.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's amazing. Well, what I'd like to do maybe is if anybody in the chat would like to ask Tamara a question, we can pull that up and then see if she can, preferably like SSP, right? We want to see if you can pull up any SSP records because I know a lot of people here are interested in that.
Cool.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm going to have flyers for my conference coming up in October 8th to 12th. So we'll also have a little. I'm probably bring some books. I don't have many in stock right now, so first come first serve. And we'll see if I can bring a meditation device. You could try that out too. I'll have my Black Ops uniform, and you can dress up too if you like to. I have this this alien hat, so it should be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, people really get into it. They have a costume. affair, as well as they do, what is it, a Sky Watch and CE5, I think Friday and Saturday night, as well as they have a planetarium. So they have different things. Even the restaurants and the bars, they're really into it.
How about we pull up the website here so you can see, we can tell you, or you can show you. So,
It's like 50,000 people
oh
came
yeah,
last year. It's like a big deal.
I'm so sorry. This thing is not there it goes. Okay. Let's see here. So 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. We recommend that you come early because it may rain that last leg of the day there. So you can do your cosplay. If you, oh, how about I make my screen a little bigger so you can maybe see it? Is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, cool. All right. There's going to be 200 UFO vendors selling and displaying alien space related crafts, art, and commercial goods. So we're going to be celebrating our galaxy, the sun, moon, the stars, UFOs, aliens, paranormal, Bigfoot, and more. Um, Great. Here's some more pictures from a previous year. I spoke here last year, but I had to. My nephew was graduating the same day from high school, so I had to drive as fast as I could to get back to my home here in Charlotte. So that was quite an interesting day there. But
Don't you
okay,
think
what's
don't
up?
you think it's interesting that we're both from Charlotte and that we are both SSP and that we are, yeah.
Yeah, well, I talked to Phil Schneider's, I guess it would be his nephew, right? And he said that there was a group of us. They were taking. There's a submarine base in Lake Norman. It's actually a quarry where, but this submarine base goes under North Carolina, goes up underneath Black Mountain, and all the way out to the west coast, out to China Lake. So you can take a submarine underneath the country. But there was oh gosh, I'm gonna get myself in trouble saying a German facility in Black Mountain where they were taking us kids.
I I understand that.
Yeah,
Mine was not Black Mountain. Mine was not far from where we are, and it was it was the Air Force, but there was in a planetary, and they were we'll be polite and say Germans, but they weren't Germans. They were something else from the 40s. But there were other alien races. Yeah. So it wasn't too far, but they used magnetic trains so they could get around really anywhere. And there's also portals. So it's different technology.
oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah, many of the paperclip Germans dropped themselves over the area of North mountains of North Carolina because the climate is better than Antarctica, obviously. So anyway, so
Right.
if they're our German friends want to come and join us too, we welcome you to the Alien Fest. We are
Yeah.
part of
All
the.
family.
Yeah, oh,
If
absolutely.
you're not even
We're
human,
not
you can
casting
join us.
judgment. No judgment, right? And also our alien friends are welcome to visit, right? So everybody hopefully behaves themselves, right? Of course. I remember I went to a MUFON meeting one time, and I was getting needle marks all over me. It was like all day long, just constantly showing up. So that's yeah.
Oh, really? Well, if they know that we're coming, but wherever I go, I was December at, like I said, on the Galactic Origins cruise, and I was standing on. I heard they're here for you in my right ear, and I go to the bow of the ship, and I was on the top. There were other people. It was very busy, and I saw a massive light. It looked like a light show, about the size of three Ferris wheels, but sideways. But it was one, and the lights were digital, and I did get that. And then I saw them another time, and how I do CE5 is I just say, "I love you, I miss you, family," and they show up. It's just kind of that easy. You send that love flow, and they follow me just about everywhere I go. So they in the Arizona. So I'm sure they'll be here. I get a lot of alien action. So I feel like some of us are the ambassadors for when the disclosure does happen, and we're like the welcoming committee.
Oh yeah, and all of our family and friends who viewed us as the black sheep are suddenly going to have to reach out to us and like, oh, well, what's really going on? I'm like, well, we can tell you, or or more likely, you need to listen, right? Because a lot of times, nobody, a lot of people don't want to listen if their minds are are part of their lower consciousness. So,
Right. Well, we're the way I see it, most of us are hybrids that are not from here. Most of us are Lyran refugees. That's why we really take to Star Wars because it looks so familiar because it is. And so I don't see them as distant or different from us. I see us as part of them. I'm not, you could get into past, present, whatever. It doesn't really matter. The
all
fact
right.
is that we share their DNA. And if we tap into that and their higher abilities, our consciousness can grow individually and together.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. Let's go back to this so we can push through this.
Absolutely. Sorry. I get excited about
I
aliens. See,
know
that's,
it's all
I
good.
know. I know.
We have there's a main stage there, so she's got some music. Sherry's putting this on, so she's got music. Um, if you're into rock and blues, there's also a costume contest, more southern rock and roll. So, yeah. Um, and again, it's all there's like a upper level, lower level streets in Spruce Pine. The lower level got flooded out, but a lot of that's been rebuilding. So, we
Right.
had the hurricane came through last August.
What is
Um,
Sherry's last name? She's done an incredible job.
Very good question. I don't remember off the top of my mind. I can look it up, but how about we just pull this up first? Actually, I guess it just plays music. Okay. This one here, there's a stage 2 now. So that one is going to be the Wandering Brushes Chimney Sweep. Oh, here's some more music. You have uplifting inspirational music with Jenny Waite. Mark Paul's Techno Rock, Jennifer Alivardio. Oh my gosh, I'm saying this right. Country. We have the Orion's Mystery. Great. And also Alien Goo, Alien Rap.
That's what I want. Alien goo, alien rap.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. I'm going to play some copyrighted music here, but anyway, cool. So this is what the street looks like. At least the previous year, right?
Family friendly.
Absolutely. Uh, we can just pull. Oh, here's some more costumes from last year.
So what are you gonna wear a full uniform? Is it gonna be full
Well, I have
dress?
I've got like a jumpsuit that I can put on, and I have my alien hat. But
Oh, that's cool.
and
Yeah, I don't know. To me, some kind of silver something,
okay,
whatever. I don't
cool.
know. I haven't figured it out yet.
All right, so they got food vendors, so you can always check that out yourself. Alien vendors, very good. Um, there's a lot here. I don't necessarily go through all this. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, there I
Oh
am. Look,
no!
Earth mission session.
Wow,
That looks pretty awesome, doesn't it?
nice. It does. And you're on the
Yeah.
Seeking Heaven channel.
Yep, that's my channel. I've had it
Okay.
5 years, and you're going to be on it soon. It's become
Okay.
really
Yes.
popular.
Nice. The Academy of Divine Wisdom.com. So we need to get those links in your bio. Okay. Just sorry, guys. I might just push this real fast. I know you might want to. You could always check this out yourself. Different arts and crafts. You know. Here we've got. What in the world is this?
Alien romance
What in
books.
the world? Oh.
Isn't that crazy? That's the first I've seen that. I'm like, okay. Or alien Florida man. I'm like,
Okay.
okay. Oh, well, hey, whatever you're into.
Okay, so do artwork. We've got jewelry. There's some more. Looks like wood carvings, crystal skulls. Could get a tattoo.
I heard they have really good patches too and stickers. I know that sounds whatever, but
Oh
that
wow,
they have for your jackets, they have really good ones.
wow! Look at all this. Just goes on and on. Masks. Interesting. I get. CBD course, herbs and edibles. Very good.
I mean, this is a whole town. They're really into it. I mean, I
Oh yeah,
appreciate you getting me involved with this because
yeah.
they're like really into it. And the reason being, I guess we didn't say, is because there were so many sightings in Spruce Pine. They have so much activity And it's actually Sherry, her husband. Actually, I guess he had a close encounter because he still is a bit skittish to talk about it. And so people have a lot of activity there. A lot. And so you can imagine you've got those mountains, like you said, you've got the Pista Forest is kind of where my little SSP situation was underneath there. But how far is the black, what is it, the black, what's it called, mountains? How far away from Spruce Pines is that?
The Black Mountain, probably everything's about maybe an hour
Yeah,
away,
not far. I'm like
but you,
40 minutes where mine was, the
you can
Pista.
also, yeah, you can also go see the Spruce. Sorry, no, hold on, the Brown Mountain Lights, which is in Linville Gorge, near Wiseman's View. You want to go to Linville Falls, so that's about another hour drive away,
Yeah,
and you can see the orbs in the valley there. So
yeah.
June is a really nice time of year to go. But again, I think it's supposed to rain that afternoon, but
Mm.
later after two
It
or
could
so.
change.
But
It could change.
yeah,
Oh,
just come early.
and then also the Linville Caverns. I think my grandmother got me a long time ago that they have these natural things that form in the shape of a cross, and they make little necklaces. But it's supposed to be beautiful. But I've spent enough time in a cave underground in a military base, so I think I'm good for now. But yeah, it's supposed to be absolutely gorgeous. But there's a lot to do there. But I think that's why, not just because not only in the North Carolina mountains, you have it in Sedona as well, but you have in the mountains, they're actually life forms. And then there's not just military bases, but there's life forms. So there's a lot going into the mountains. And so I think that's why there's a lot of activity, because it's actually a land base too. You know, we apparently, supposedly, I don't know, wink, wink, that we have a coordination with interplanetary beings, with humans in positions of power. Did I say that really good without saying anything?
Mm.
So I think that's why there's a lot of activity that people see there, is because there is.
Oh wow, thank you. Okay, so yeah, just looking for some through the photos here, and I wanted to Tamara, can you do a reading for one of our guests in the audience?
Uh, yeah, sure.
Okay,
Where is she? Yeah, and also
all
if
right,
you want it depends. You got to tell me, because I'm highly trained. I train in the British style evidential mediumship, so I'm a channeler. I channel the Astra, the Galactic Federation. I'm channeling on my Seeking Heaven channel next week. Althea from Sirius A. She's in charge of the Syrian nation, and so I channel as well as not just do earth readings. I do evidential meetings. I'm actually a stage medium. I've done it in front of like 35,000 people at convention center. So I do a lot of stuff. So you can also do this online. It works just as well. If you can't go to Spruce Pine, you can see me at the Academy of Divinewisdom.com, and you can look under services and you can get it there. Okay, now who wants what? Who
all
is
right.
it?
Let's see if we can do a couple readings before I have to pull the plug on the show because my family's coming over. So let's see here. We've got anybody. I see people does okay. Um, we can do this one maybe.
If not, well, don't push it on people. I mean, it has to be a
Okay.
real nice flow. But if not, I mean,
How about?
your mother did pass. I can,
Oh, you
tell
want? Does she
you.
have a message?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I hadn't gone
She
there yet.
was
I have to ask
the
permission.
treasurer for MUFON in North Carolina.
She
But
what?
yeah, she was in MUFON. She was a treasurer for
Really? What
yeah.
about?
But
Really? Did she know? I wonder if she knew my sister-in-law, who used to be the secretary, or did a lot of work for MUFON, Ginger Richardson.
maybe send me a photo because that was like the early 2000s when that was going
Okay.
on.
Okay, that might have been the same time. And also, she was in an HBO thing. I don't know if you or anyone watching or today has seen it. Was the Bud Hopkins, and he did it. It was an HBO thing, and where he was meeting this lady in New York. People saw her like hovering up into the sky. Ginger's in that photo with all. Oh my God, we were watching it, and we were like, "Oh my God, that's your sister!" And we. It was like we didn't expect that, but she's in that HBO thing. So, do you want me to read you, or do you want me to read someone here?
Well, I guess just put a reading on me since we're still waiting.
Okay, and Shelley says she wants, but she didn't define. Do you want a
Yeah.
galactic reading, or do you want a evidential or psychic reading about your life? So
I
let
want
me
to.
know.
I like to know my connection
Okay.
to Perseus and
Yeah.
Atlantis as a general. Yeah. Can you pull up the? Oh, you muted yourself. The files from Atlantis because it seems like we were there. Like there was a group of us demigods there, right? And we
Okay.
were
Now
trying
who is it? Who is it?
Perseus, Atlantis, but it looks like we left. We time traveled to Egypt to escape the cataclysms.
We didn't time travel. We were a lot of us were fish beings. I was in Atlantis. I was a actually did a whole presentation on this. I've had over 400 hours of past life now. I can just kind of go there in quietness. But yeah, I was a half. I was from Sirius B, and I was half. I was not a mermaid. They're mainly from Palladius. We were from Sirius B, the fish type people, and I could transform, if you want to call it, into not only human but into other life forms. I could shapeshift, and so I could move. I had the ability to go from on the earth or the beach or what have you in the ocean and live equally both, which was very rare. Most could only live primarily in the ocean. And then I had abilities. Part of the abilities, when you're a high priestess, which I was over Atlantis, and I was in charge of portals and the, if you want to call it alchemy, which I remember actually talked about how that's done and the elements and how we created a portal. And we could use it for energy or for communication or for healing or for many things. That goes into sound frequency and different things depending on what you're trying to achieve. But to be a high priestess, I also trained the others. I was an oracle, and we were with one. I had a tiger as a pet. We were one with animals, and I could actually touch it, and my arms start turning into like the to the look, the stripes, and so forth. But you had to go through basically a near-death experience to conquer master different states of consciousness, and that could be done whether you're put into a tar pit and covered, but they're all crocodiles around, but you just slow down your breathing, and you were covered in tar, but you were in this swamp with the crocodiles, or you could be put in a cave and the oxygen be depleted. You don't know what kind of critters are in there, and you had to calm yourself down and be mastery over that. So that's one of the things we did. But what we did is there were cave systems there, and a lot of us could shape shift. We had abilities. We were less human there. We had different incarnations which is a whole different thing. The origins of they weren't entirely human. So we went into cave systems. Not all of us made it. Some didn't want to make it. And then we went into Atlantis. It went many places. It was multiple Atlantises. But from my timeline, what I remember, we ended up making it to Egypt, but we did live in the cave systems for a while, and some stayed there. And as we know now, is Argathia.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron.
Before we get to another question, because I want to at least get one from the chat.
Okay.
Let's try to make it real quick because there's a couple more here. Let's see if we can throw a couple of these in. So Miranda Anderson is asking if they were in the secret space program.
Let me get it. Tell me where she's from. Let me lock in on her location.
Okay, Miranda. Yeah, I guess we're gonna need that info. But I had a pet saber tooth. It was a pair, male female couple, saber tooth tiger as a pet in Lemuria. So I was doing like searches and
Yeah.
rescues. That's part of the reason why.
Yeah, they didn't need us back then. We were like all God long. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And those, yeah, they're like 3 times bigger than our tigers today. So they were big.
There is something by a lady named Karen. Was the aquatic being you were called in Atlantis a Murin? Well, I was told we were called Aquarians, not mer people, Aquarians. Aqua and Arians being old or the elders. So we were the elders of the water. We were also part of, I hate to say it, but it is what it is. We were part of the Dagon legacy. The Philistines worship for like 3,000 years the fish people, and there are still rumor that fish people are in certain ports like in Maine that show up that are hidden almost like lepers, but they're still around.
So Miranda is from Utah.
Okay. Give me a second here. Okay, can I need you to respond yes or no what I'm getting? I mean, this is kind of personal, but you asked for it, okay? So I do see some type of it looks like some type of abuse, some type of control mechanism. It feels like there was a grouping like schooling. It does look like early age. It does look like some kind of trauma that took place, and it was some kind of altered teaching. Now, I want to say this. There was a lot of people, I made it very high up to Eagle Eye. I was over all the psyops and the super soldiers. I was very powerful, okay? So the people that didn't make it that far, might have been less, but some people didn't make it into the program because they were either too rebellious, they weren't compliant, they shut down for whatever reason. I don't think you went that far in it. I do think there was something where it feels like you were like during school taken somewhere, and you might have this another timeline. Let's just use that, and so just be at peace with that. Go, oh, okay, well maybe so. I know this is crazy stuff where you might feel like there was special teachings. Not everybody made it through the program. Some people could not be programmed. I thought it was this great adventure, and I could meet all these cool looking, weird, strange beings, which I thought were fabulous, but not everybody had that attitude. Does that make sense? Okay, so a lot of times, just to let you know, okay, thank you, Miranda. To let you know, a lot of me too, I had sexual abuse early on from my stepdad, which I've forgiven him and all that, because it's not good to hold on to that for you or for them. And I know it's a process. I get it. I'm not saying that lightly. But they look for that. They look for people that have had trauma, whether it's a family that came from alcoholism, some kind of abuse, whatever it is, to bring into the program. Because, and I hate to say this, I'm just going to tell you what I know to be true. They, and I've done past life regression on this, like deep hypnosis with Geraldine Orozco. And then it just started coming out one day. I was like, oh my God, like 2 hours of like, oh, it's so good. But what they do, if you aren't compliant and you're not getting the homework, the psychic homework or whatever the homework, or they want intel from you or whatever they want from you, whatever program they're putting you in, if you're not compliant with it, they induce pain. But what they do is they don't induce necessarily real pain. They put psychologically in your mind, say, for example, you'd be murdered or your guts torn out. It was pretty awful. But they're not actually doing it. But they just put the terror in your mind. It's like watching a really bad horror movie, but like 3D or whatever. And so they do that to trigger your psychic abilities. So they like working with children with trauma, but very few people can.
Tamara, yeah, let's go to the next one, because we got 2 people in here, and let's see if we can get them put before somebody starts banging on my door. Okay, so Nathan's asking if his altar is Seth Donovan Braddocks.
I don't know. Real quick, I just want to make sure, because that's heavy what I laid up there, and I just want to make sure real quick. Does this make sense? I just want to get a yes or no, because that was heavy, and I don't want to be cruel. I don't want to be cruel. I'm a
yeah, we love you, Miranda. We love all of you.
Are you okay with this?
Yeah, a lot of us need a lot of healing, and I think when the med beds come out, it's going to really help.
Okay.
But why should we wait to get
all right? Right. So Miranda, just chat back in and see if that and I send you love and an understanding. I do, okay? But I don't think you went through the full thing, and I'm so sorry what you did go through. All right, and you can get more of this. Some of this is private, so you can do that privately with me. All right, let's see. This reading Seth Donovan Brand. I'm not familiar with his books. I'm not familiar with one of his books. I don't know who he is. I haven't read it. I can't answer that.
It's his altar.
Oh, Seth. You mean Seth, the channel thing?
I guess, yeah, Seth Donovan at his altar.
I'm not sure really what this question is. I can tell you my take on Seth. Is that what he wants? I don't know. It doesn't feel right. Something feels off with this. Now, there's things that are trying to manipulate our consciousness out there. Some of you that may wake up and you may feel, not always, but say from time to time, a dark oppression and a darkness. If they have a mechanism, I mean, the reptilians or whatever, they have a mechanism where they try to keep our consciousness down, but nothing can keep your consciousness from the source of all things that's beautiful, right? So you put our attention on it and then boom, you're out of it. Something's off with Seth. I've read some of his stuff. It sounds really good. And then other things that are off. So I can't comment about this particular thing.
So it might be someone he knows, but not necessarily an alter. Someone
I
he's
can't,
worked with.
I just can't answer that. I think we should go to the next one. I'm so sorry, but
Yeah,
I just
it's
want
all
to be
good.
truthful.
Here's a good question about Elon Musk. Someone was asking you, is he in the secret space program?
You know, I don't think his consciousness is there. He's really interested in what he wants to do and whatever that is. And so much so, it's just about him. Whether you like him, whether you don't, he does do some cool things. That rocket lining up is pretty amazing. I don't think he's aware of the whole alien things. I think he's aware of himself. That's why the say the dark cabal or whatever you want to call it, I don't think they can influence him, or maybe not necessarily the light ones or the white hats, because he's just going to do what he's going to do. I don't think he's very spiritually developed as a human yet. I think he's just in it for whatever his next idea is. So I don't think he knows to have a dark or a good agenda. I think he has his agenda. And I don't think he's progressed enough to know that. So I think you're giving him a lot of credit in the spiritual arena.
Okay. Here's from Dreamcats asking if I was a Scandinavian super soldier. I have vague memories. I'm from Sweden, Scandinavia, and Northern Europe.
Okay. Well, hello, brother, because my family is half of them actually migrated from Sweden and Germany to here, and the other part is Cherokee. So, you know, the connection that I get. And that's why I must say this. God, there is a connection. There is a connection. Okay, so my family moved to Hickory, North Carolina, which is not too far from Spruce Pines and all that, about an hour and a half, right? So why? Because they actually have not far from where we're going to be at in this event, this Spruce Pine, a little Switzerland, because it looks so much like Sweden. That's why they moved there. As far as distance, when you're talking about the secret space program, they have these magnetic trains, they have portals to go through, they have different technology. So distance really is not, we're one big happy family Earth. It's not really a thing. It's almost like opening a closet and going through the other end. So, yeah, I say you're very highly trained, you're very athletic, you're very muscular, you're very trained, you're obsessed with it almost. And the reason you're obsessed with it is because you're a soldier. And that's okay. And I think you, in your heart, do all the things for the right reasons. I think you are obsessed with working out, and it disgusts you that people that don't, and about being one-minded and having clear decisions. Is because that's how you've always been. That's why you're valuable. I think you did the same thing like many of us. I think it was the 20 and back. So you got two timelines. So it's very confusing. So you can just pretend one is a dream. And then usually it's all the same, except for there's a point in time where two, right? Where you have two. But essentially you're kind of the same person, but it's two. Did I say that correctly?
I think you did an amazing job. Yes. So thank you, Dreamcat, for that. So do you have any information on the Indian secret space program, or are you aware of? Yes, I am aware of it, but don't
Really?
have. Yeah, I don't know the name of it. Maybe you could pick up something on that. I know I had a friend that he was an admiral in the Indian, because that would be the Aryan, right? That's there. The India is the Aryan people, right? The Aryan race, the real Aryans.
The real Aryans.
Iran too.
I don't know about that, but I do know that because we are hybrids, let's just make this super simple, because we've got Sweden, we've got India, we've got freaking all over the place, right? Everybody watching, okay? Germany, okay, we've all migrated from somewhere, right? We have family friends. We got a little bit of everything. I got my DNA back. There was a whole lot of junk DNA, and that's the good stuff. That's where hybridization. Most of us have been in some type of hybridization program, if not in a secret space program, just throughout our actual true origin of how we got here. And that's why there's so much the disclosure. I'm not waiting from any government rulers from wherever, okay? it's going to be people. It's people. They're getting direct contact from their star family, and I think it's because we're trying to ascend out of this matrix. And there was a comment earlier about, oh, you're stuck in the. Can I say BS? Okay, because let me tell you what. I'm a 6-time near-death experiencer, and there are different levels. There are Arcturian transplant stations where they actually wipe your memory and go on. You're going to go to the level of your spiritual awareness. That's where you're going to go next. And if you're higher up, that's where you're going to go. They've actually logged people's brain waves and seen where the soul goes. And I wish I could remember the study and who it was. I'm sorry, but I just read this, and they found someone like a quadrillion, zillion miles away on a different planet. So that is not true. That being, and the David Icke thing, I've been on his channel and I like a lot of his stuff, okay? But in this particular thing, I have to respectfully disagree that if you're powerful, you can supersede that, and that's a bunch of BS. Okay, just thought Tamara want to make a comment on that.
Okay, how about we make this the last question? Because I commented that Christians would be one of the last to, not as, well, I said ascend, but it's more like wake up, because they believe that they're going to have a rapture and a tribulation and all this. That's what the Bible says.
I am so glad that's being asked. First of all, when I had my 6 near-death experiences, 2 of them, I saw Jesus, and one of them, I was dead 15 minutes at arrival and 2 minutes, and then 2 hours after that, on and off, they were trying to resuscitate me, and I was declared dead. I went to spend with Jesus 3 days in heaven. He is my main teacher. I adore him. I channel him. I've been channeling him since 3 years old. And yes, it's him. I've done about 24 demonic deliverances. They're awful. I said, please, Jesus, don't make me do this again. And I adore him. He is so much. The church is controlling. They don't tell you everything. And I think Jesus wants us to use our own mind, which is one reason he told me to start my Seeking Heaven channel, so people can, I said, what to have on? He said, near-death experiences, out-of-body, UFO. He said, get people to think for themselves. He said, you'll mention me from time to time, but get people to think. And so my love for him is greater than just about anyone that I know, but I'm also, once you've come out of the box to see things for what they are at a higher rate, then you, I don't question Jesus. I question the dogma behind it. And the ETs, are they demons? No, I've seen demons, black eyes, voices change, it's awful. And they're not. They're spirit beings that can inhabit humans or non-humans. They can inhabit aliens, but you have to be a lower vibe, or you have to not be spiritually protected for that to happen. Whatever it is, all the other planets know who Jesus is. They may call him a different name, but they know exactly who you're talking about. And he's much honored and loved and respected.
Wow, thank you so much. So we're going to wrap it up here. Everybody, thank you all thank you, Tamara. I guess, did I get it right?
No, we'll get it right. It'll be something we can work on.
Tamara, thank you, Tamara. And also thank you all the people that asked questions. Thank you, Jay, you're asking, in one of your videos said that the other time, an extra timeline 2023, what will happen to that? That was Peter the Insider. We got to get him back on here, but unfortunately he doesn't want to talk to me, and it's a complicated issue. I don't really want to talk about it publicly. Thank you, Jay. Awesome. Go to Spruce Pine Alien Festival to learn more about the Spruce Pine Alien event and the directions and all that, the details. Also go to what's your website?
It's you can go to the Academy of DivineWisdom.com, and then you can see under services. I have classes too. You can channeling's on there. You can see, but if you go under there, you can also get a session with me.
Great. Send me the link. We'll put that in the description.
Okay.
Also go to supersoldiercon.com. Purchase your tickets to the October 8th to 12th event, and let's see if we can bring Tamara with us. And we can also, you should all come out to support the super soldiers and SSP disclosure to let your voice be heard, that the secret space program disclosure is here. Thank you all. And we'll all see you all later. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
See you all later.